Context is everything, especially in a learning environment. In my first project for EdTech 513, Multimedia, I was tasked with creating an instructional presentation that demonstrated the multimedia and contiguity principles. In this case, the term context applied to the words and graphics used within the presentation, and more importantly, the relationship of the two. The presentation I created explained the screen capture process and provided tips and techniques for new users. My design process followed the multimedia and contiguity principles with relationship of the elements used within the presentation. According to Clark and Mayer, an important part of active processing is to mentally construct pictorial and verbal representations of the material and mentally connect them. Ensuring that words and graphics are aligned aids learner retention and cognitive processing, and thus provides an overall more conducive and effective learning environment. Before taking EdTech 513, I'm sure I violated both principles with ineffective design practices in past presentations. This artifact demonstrates my ability to synthesize research principles into effective design practice that supports learning environments. Another point of reference for me with this lesson was taken from EdTech 503, Instructional Design. Two aspects of the instructional design process include the analysis of learner context and content. Connecting instructional design principles with multimedia instruction is powerful when you take context and content into consideration. All of the principles I learned in EdTech 513 have positively affected my design of multimedia instruction, and I am also able to demonstrate this practice in the online courses I design and in the workshops I facilitate, sharing this knowledge with colleagues. According to Larson and Lockey, technology should always be used to meet a specific instructional need. Technology use in the classroom is commonplace. The key to effective integration, though, comes when the technology itself is not the primary focus, but rather when instructional need directs its use. I was able to use a project I'm currently working on at my institution as the basis for this lesson. The artifact that I chose for Standard 2 is a digital learning experience that I created in EdTech 554, Managing Technology Integration. The ePortfolio project is an online, self-paced module that supports the development of ePortfolios at Chemeketa Community College. The module guides learners through planning, evaluation of software, and the initial steps of creating pages in their ePortfolio. To elicit student engagement, there are opportunities for self-evaluation, group collaboration, and peer feedback through a variety of activities. Instructional planning for this module encourages student engagement along with higher-level thinking, as students will research, analyze, and synthesize information and then create their own ePortfolio. The module can easily be embedded into any learning management system, and content organization is chunked into topics that allow learners to move ahead or review at their level of understanding. When I created this artifact, I knew that it would also benefit my professional work. This digital learning experience has been implemented into several online courses at my institution and will serve as an effective learning environment for instructors implementing ePortfolios in their courses and for their students who use them. An effective online course combines learner analysis, a variety of instructional strategies, and content planning in order to achieve the student outcomes. In EdTech 512, Online Course Design, I was tasked with creating an online course, and the design process began with creating a front-end analysis of the learner and organizational context, and then planning the instructional strategies. FYE 105, First Year Experience, is a course that provides learners the strategies for success throughout college and life. During the course, students will be introduced to campus life and college support resources, and how to access those services that they might need. It is a course that has been offered face-to-face for many years, but had never been offered online. I worked with a colleague who served as a subject matter expert, and together we mapped the course and used a variety of instructional strategies to elicit student engagement, interaction, and social presence. In the face-to-face version of the course, there are many in-class small group activities, so part of the challenge in transitioning the course to an online environment included being able to maintain those small group activities and dialogue. Throughout the course design process, I was able to provide knowledge of learning theory and research-proven best practices as I collaborated with my colleague. I found myself citing research articles that related to the topics we were addressing in the design process, such as instructor presence, content organization, and the chunking of learning materials, and even the use of graphics. This knowledge not only added to the effectiveness of the course, but I was also able to share my learning experiences with a coworker. The benefit of the online course that I designed in EdTech 512 is that it was implemented at my institution and is meeting the needs of our students who take online courses. I am now teaching the second online section of the course, and I am able to use the knowledge and skills gained from the MET program and the online teaching certification to increase my professional practice in course design and instruction. Professional development is an essential element for all instructors and leaders. The educational process encourages our students to be lifelong learners, and as instructors, we should also model that trait. In EdTech 554, Managing Technology Integration, I created a comprehensive professional development plan. Pathways to Learning is a personalized professional development series for faculty at Chemeketa Community College. The year-long series will include workshops on teaching and learning, along with techniques for technology integration in online and blended learning environments. The plan provides for a series of blended learning workshops offered each term that instructors will be able to choose from, depending on their need for the skills or their topic interest. Using a needs analysis survey that I conducted for EdTech 503 instructional design, I was able to create a comprehensive training plan based upon key areas that instructors felt would benefit their teaching and learning, such as instructional design, assessment, and technology integration. The professional development plan is also very relevant in that it provides opportunities for instructors to gain added knowledge and skills in multiple areas, but can also be customized to the needs of our institution. In professional practice, it is easy to think of creating a singular training session to meet the immediate needs of instructors. However, as I created this artifact, I began to think strategically about a year-long plan for professional development that could benefit an entire organization. This assignment generated some creative ideas for implementing professional development, and it also provided the basis of a comprehensive plan that I can collaborate on with colleagues within my department and also with other campus stakeholders regarding the design and implementation of workshops. It helps to know where you've come from in order to determine where you are going. The same is true for education. Understanding learning theory is essential to determining instructional methods and approaches for technology integration. In EdTech 554, Theoretical Foundations of Educational Technology, we were tasked with researching and analyzing various learning theories, and then we had to synthesize that information to determine the relationship that learning theory has with educational technology. It was during this class that I realized my approach to instruction most closely aligns with constructivism. In my research paper, I described the connection that constructivism has to Web 2.0 tools, which are typically used for e-portfolios. According to Ertmer and Newby, the constructivist approach to learning is the creation of meaning as opposed to the acquisition of meaning. Within constructivism, students have more control over their learning, and the instructor is seen more as a facilitator. Constructivism aligns well to Web 2.0 tools and e-portfolios because students can control their learning through self-reflection activities and the creation of artifacts for their e-portfolios. I have spent my professional career working in educational technology, but it was in EdTech 504 when I had the epiphany that I didn't really need to learn about technology. I needed to learn about educational theory. The realization of which learning theory I align with is something I had never taken into consideration before. This self-realization will definitely have impact on my teaching, but it will also direct my instructional design practice for the online courses that I am involved with at my institution.